New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. Supporters have raised more than $1 million for a man who was exonerated earlier this week after serving 43 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Kevin Strickland, now 62, was wrongfully convicted back in 1979 in the murder of 3 people who were killed when 4 men broke into a home in Kansas City, Missouri, and shot them. Strickland was 18 at the time and has always stated that he was at home watching TV when the event took place. After the conviction, the key witnesses, one of which was the sole survivor of the attack, recanted and stated that she had been incorrect to identify Strickland as one of the shooters. Additionally, 2 other men convicted in the incident stated that Strickland wasn't with them, and fingerprints on the shotgun the assailants held didn't match Strickland's. On Tuesday, after a 3-day hearing, James Welsh, a retired judge appointed to the case, ruled that Strickland's convictions could not stand. Gene Baker, a Missouri prosecutor who believed that Strickland was innocent the whole time, stated this: "This brings justice, finally, to a man who has tragically suffered so greatly as a result of wrongful conviction." But though he's now been released, Strickland is not eligible to receive compensation for his decades of wrongful imprisonment from the state of Missouri. State law dictates that people exonerated via DNA evidence can get $50 for each day they were incarcerated after their conviction, but that doesn't apply to Strickland's case. However, the Midwest Innocence Project, a nonprofit that provides legal support to wrongfully convicted people and had worked on Strickland's case, set up a GoFundMe. The account was created over the summer, but gained traction since the news of Strickland's exoneration this week. As of Friday, the account had tens of thousands of donors and had raised more than $1.1 million. Strickland told CNN that the first thing that he did as a free man was to visit his mother's grave. Quote, "To know my mother was under that dirt, and I hadn't got the chance to visit her in the last years. I revisited those tears that I did when they told me I was guilty of a crime I didn't commit." That's crazy. And you can see how they have this whole system like really set up, right? Ever since they started with DNA evidence originally, to my knowledge, they weren't trying to give people money. It was just like, okay, well, you're free. Here you go. You got your freedom. You got your last little bit of years left. We got the greater majority, but we were wrong. Ha ha ha. Joke's on us. And now you're free, right? Over time, they started implementing certain things where it's like, all right, well, DNA evidence can prove that you were wrongfully convicted. We'll give you, some money back for, the years. Ha ha ha. We were wrong. Joke's on us. But we still ended up getting part of your life, right? That's how they want to work it. So even in Strickland's case, they're like, ha ha ha. Yeah, we were wrong, but joke is on you because you're not getting anything from us because it had nothing to do with DNA evidence. So they're basically telling him that, yo, you got to eat that, right? You got to take that out. It's like, yeah, we were wrong, but you didn't have no type of DNA evidence to really free you or to really say that you were, innocent. All you had was really the 2 guys that committed the crime that we already knew committed the crime. And we already had the weapon, which we already knew was a part of the crime that we already knew that you weren't really a part of the crime, nor did the fingerprints even really match, but we didn't want to talk about that during the actual trial. And then also the witness, who is a woman, came out and basically stated that she was incorrect about pinning Strickland to the crime. I wonder how that worked. How are you now sure, after all of this time, 43 years that went by, right? This woman is sat up there and had relationships, graduations, a multitude of jobs. She didn't have vacations. She probably got an IRA. She got retirement. She done seen the world change. 43 years. That woman has seen the world change. While his world stayed the same behind concrete and steel bars. An innocent man who is coming back to a brand new world. This man been locked up, what, since the 70s? Since the 70s? This man is coming back to a brand new world. I couldn't even fathom. I couldn't even tell you what the technology was even like in the 70s. But compare that technology to what we have now. Wow. Wow. It's going to be a mind-blowing experience for him to really get his hands on a lot of this stuff, to really see a lot of this stuff. It's going to take him some time to get used to how the world is right now, because the world as he knew it at one point in time is not that world anymore. It's not that world anymore. During that time frame, you probably still had a lot of people who were prominent and dominant during that time still alive, still in their youth, still young, still talking. And those people at this moment in time are no longer in existence. They're gone. So his world has drastically changed, almost to the point of where it's not even existing at this moment in time. And one of the most important people that, in a sense, should be there to, welcome him back, in a sense, his mom, is not even there. He wasn't even able to, see her on her last days. He wasn't, able to be there on, his birthdays or a variety of other things. And there's no telling on, what type of problem this might have caused in between the two of them. Right? Because at certain points in times, we have family that feel that, if people say that we did something, then obviously we did it. Why would those people, lie on you? What would they have to gain for lying? Right? That's the old school way, of thinking. But I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying specifically that is, who Mr. Strickland's, mother was, but I'm just, listing, some stuff out there. Because, he never got a chance to really have a heart-to-heart, to really have a conversation. The last heart-to-heart that he probably had with his mom was, back before he was arrested. And then now the heart-to-heart that he got to talk was talking to a gravestone. Like I said, that's sad. That's heartbreaking. And to know that the state is not trying to fix this or give him any money, that shows you what it is. That shows you exactly what it is. Like I said, this is wrong all across the board. And, a lot of things need to be implemented and changed in order to stop this from happening. Like I said, at the end of the day, I put it like this. If this happens to people, it's wrong, right? But more specifically, this happens to black men in the black community more than any other race and group or ethnicity directly out there, bar none. This is not even up for debate. Because we know how this country was made. We know how these laws are made. We know how the court system was made. We know how the lawyers basically work. And we know that they created rules and regulations specifically for black people, specifically having to do with the color of their skin, in order to presume that they're guilty before they're innocent. So it makes it easier for them to lock them up so that they can disassociate the fact that you're dealing with a human being versus calling them a black criminal. Like I said, everything is built in order to make it easier to gain convictions and to put black men in jail and in prison for longer stints than any other counterpart out there. It's a known fact. Like I said, this is why we need laws. This is why we need protections. This is why we actually need people, quote unquote, in government or public officials that will actually represent black people how they should be represented. That will go after certain things that, need to be chased and need to be hunted down. This is one of them, because this should not be happening. Every single day you have black men walking out of jail and prison because they were wrongfully convicted on botched or ridiculous evidence, or evidence that wasn't even presented in a lot of cases, right? Because that's how they get a lot of convictions as well. All the evidence that is there to prove that this man is innocent, the people trying to charge him, they'll be like, yo, we can't have this, directly on trial, so we got to find some type of fault. We got to do this, we got to do that to hide all of that evidence because we have to get convictions. That's the job. Like I said, people got to understand how the game is. The moment in time that you understand, the moment in time that you start playing catch up, you'll see what it is for what it really is. But I'm happy that Mr. Strickland is out. I'm happy that the GoFundMe was raised. I'm happy that the story caught wind and people donated to this man. Realistically, it's never going to bring back all of the stuff that he missed out on, all of the jobs that he could have got, all of the ideas that he could have potentially presented, all of the good that he could have potentially did, even a family that he could have set up there and created. None of that can be brought back with money. It can't. That can't be given back. All of those chances, it can't. Like I said, we will never know what a young or middle-aged Mr. Strickland could have potentially done for the black community. We only know of what we can do for him right now, right? And that's allowing him, as he stated before, he wanted to go out to the ocean and he wanted to feel the power of the water. He wants to see a variety of things in the world, probably try a lot of different foods and, sit there and just actually relax and feel free because he's been caged up and locked up for so long. Right. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the story and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.